Hi, my name is Aliya LeeKong, and welcome to my kitchen. I'm passionate about bringing spices and exotic flavors into the everyday cooking. You can find my recipes and more at aliyaleekong.com. Today we're talking about ways to spice up pasta dishes, and I am excited to tell you about one of my favorite ways, which is with a Cajun spice blend I learned while I was traveling in New Orleans. It's the type of dish that's addictive and just tastes better the second day. So let's get started. We're going to start with a little bit of Spanish paprika. We'll do 2 teaspoons of this. Next is 1½ teaspoons of granulated garlic, 1½ teaspoons of granulated onion, 1 teaspoon each of dried oregano and dried thyme. Then we're going to use both black and white pepper. We're going to do about 3/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper. Now I use Telecherry peppercorns that I hand grind. They're a really fine quality, but you can use whatever you have on hand. And now the 3/4 of white pepper. Finally, we're going to add a little heat to this mix, a pinch of cayenne, a generous pinch if you like heat, and a pinch of chili flakes. Let's just mix this all together. Now this is my go-to spice blend for pasta, and this cooks up for about 1 pound of pasta. Now let's get to making the pasta. We're going to cook down some shallots and some green onions as well as some garlic with a little white wine, chicken stock, and heavy cream. Throw in this spice blend and it's going to be a beautiful mix of flavors. All right, let's just take this over and get cooking the pasta. We're going to start by heating a pan over medium heat and just let that warm up. To that we're going to add a little bit of butter, unsalted butter. You can also use oil or olive oil if you want to be extra healthy. To this we're going to add some shallots and a little bit of green onion. And you know what, let's throw in our garlic as well. At this stage, I always like to throw in a little salt to draw out the moisture. It's going to help with the cooking down. You want to just sweat these veg out slowly to develop their flavor. You don't want to really brown them up. Now that these are starting to turn translucent, we're going to throw in the spices and a little bit of white wine and reduce. So we have the Cajun spice blend that we just used. We're just going to toss that in there. Just coat that up with the fat. Now we're also going to throw in this white wine. You want to throw in about a 1/4 cup or so. 1/4 cup to a 1/2 cup. And just let that reduce. Now to this I'm going to add about a 1/2 cup of stock and let that reduce a little bit. So now we're going to add about a 1/4 cup of cream. Okay, so our sauce is reduced. I'm going to shut the heat. We're going to throw in the pasta now. Like I said, it's about 1 pound of pasta. To that, we're also going to season that up with some salt and throw in some fresh herbs. let's mix that up. Now that is a pasta side dish. Oh, this looks beautiful. It's just poured into our bowl. Now, I know this is a side dish. This is one heck of a side dish. If you wanted to make it a full meal, you could throw in some andouille sausage, some chicken, some shrimp. It's so flavorful. You will not regret making this. Thank you so much for joining me in my kitchen. I hope you learned a little bit about spice blends. My name is Aliya LeeKong. Check out my recipes and more at aliyaleekong.com.